Hi everybody and welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Greta and I'm the dietitian at Johnsdaughter Cancer Center. So I have another great recipe for you. This was inspired by all the flavors of early summer. We've got fresh herbs and leeks and asparagus, and it's a one-pot dish that we don't even have to turn our oven on for. So let's get started, and my favorite thing that we're going to start with is asparagus, which is a great time of year to use up all your asparagus. So we need about a pound of asparagus for this. So I end up starting with about 2 pounds because what I have learned with asparagus, and I have done this multiple ways, and I have figured out in order to get the most tender part of the asparagus, the snap method is the best method to figure out where the tender part starts and the tough part ends. So I have done this by chopping off the end before, and I ended up with tough pieces. So I have found this method really works the best. So till we get rid of the tougher parts, we're going to end up losing a bunch of the weight that we started with. But trust me on this one, I have tried it multiple ways, and this just seems to be the best way to do it to get the best product at the end. So I'm going to get rid of these really tough stems. They'll go in my compost. And then our asparagus, what we're going to do, kind of line these guys up here in little piles. We're going to cut them into about, I don't know, inch-ish size pieces, so they all cook pretty evenly. We can leave the tips intact because they cook pretty fast. While I am chopping here, I do have a pot of water boiling. We are going to be using Orzo in this recipe. The really nice thing about Orzo is it cooks super fast. It's a very small pasta, and I like going ahead and cooking that ahead and then adding it in. Some dishes we cook it all together, but I feel like asparagus, if you overcook it, it really gets kind of sad and soggy and droopy, so we're going to cook the two things separate. This was inspired by a recipe that I found, and I made it, and it did have you cook the asparagus in the water with the pasta. And the recipe just, I did the family test, and it got some ho-hum reactions in my family that they said it lacked flavor. So I completely rewrote the recipe to really bring out a lot more flavor. So this is what we ended up with. So I'm just chopping through my asparagus. Just line them all up like so. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as they're about the same size. Just like that. They're about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch size chunks. Perfect. I've got some asparagus in my garlic bowl. Alrighty. In they go. Last bit. Tips intact. The other nice thing about this recipe, it does have some great fresh herbs in it. You can choose. I was gifted a huge amount of dill, and my garden, ironically, is producing a huge amount of dill this year, so I am going to use dill, but it would be great with parsley. You could use mint. Really the sky's the limit, and right now fresh herbs are looking great. So we're going to use a couple of leeks. I'm just going to trim off the tough end, trim off these darker greens at the top. You can save those to make stock, and I'm just going to kind of peel off the first couple parts. Alright, so the thing about leeks is they are grown in sort of sandy soil, so you can see that dirt kind of gets stuck in between. So what I like to do, get this darker green part off the top, is cut it then in half, like this. Then I'm going to take it over to my sink, and I'm going to rinse out all of the dirt that's stuck on the inside. Cut off these parts. I'm going to use 2. This guy was a little smaller. Cut him in half. So I'm going to head over to my sink, and I'm going to rinse these off. And then I'll come back and I'm going to show you how I'm going to slice them up. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back because my leeks are all nice and clean. I'm cutting them just in half moons, about 1/2 inch size half moons, just like this. They have a bit, you know, they have a nice flavor. It's a little bit milder than onion. Doesn't have quite that astringency. It has a little bit more freshness to it. I think it has a really nice flavor that complements the asparagus really well. It doesn't overpower it. Just like that. All right, so our leeks are chopped. The only other thing that I really need to chop, we'll finish our herbs at the end. I'm just gonna do a couple cloves of garlic. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this chopped up, and I'll meet you back to the stove and we're gonna start getting this going. We'll see you in a few minutes. All right, so we're back over here at the stove. We're gonna get things going now. I've got my pot of salted boiling water. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of orzo. And that's only gonna take about 5 to 7 minutes because it's such small pasta, it cooks really fast. So I'm gonna let that come up to a boil and then I will turn my timer on. Over here, I have about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. It's heating over about medium high-ish heat. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my leeks in here. These are gonna cook just until they start turning a little bit golden. Probably only takes somewhere between 4 to 6 minutes to do that. So we're gonna let those get going. Give them a quick stir around. Perfect. Let those go. Over here, I have a little pan. It's got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it. I'm going to turn this on to heat up to medium heat. We're going to come back in just a minute. I'm going to show you how to make the yummiest breadcrumbs to put on top of your pasta. So come back in just a second. All right, my oil's heated up, and to it, I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. You can use fresh breadcrumbs. I'm using panko breadcrumbs because they're in my cupboard all the time. We're just going to toast these breadcrumbs until they turn a nice golden brown. We want to combine them in with this oil. Now, this is a step where you have to be really careful. Do not ignore these guys. They will go from beautifully brown to burnt in just moments. So you really have to pay attention to them. Don't leave their side. I've also got sitting here to remind me a measuring cup, because once my pasta gets going here, I'm going to take about 1 cup of pasta water out and save that, and that's going to help bring our sauce together later in our dish. So don't forget to reserve your cup of pasta water. It's going to be nice, starchy, seasoned water that's really going to help add some creaminess to our dish. So you can see around the edges, they are already starting to toast up. Like I said, don't ignore these guys. They'll get away from you fast. I have done that before. The other trick is once you take them off the stove, you have to take them out of the pan right away, because there'll be lots of residual heat in your pan, and if you leave them sitting in here, again, they will go from beautifully golden browned to beautifully burned. While those are browning, I'm going to give my leeks a stir. They smell so good. I love the smell of cooking leeks. And they're starting to get a little bit of brown edges. I'm going to let them go just a couple more minutes. My orzo is cooking away. It only has about 4 minutes to go. Once you get this started, it really comes together very, very quickly, which is the best part about this. Look at them. Ooh, they're browning. Yay! They start to, once you know, the end product, it really is like toast. I mean, it's really like toasted bread. It's amazing. And then you don't have to have bread with your pasta dish. You just have these yummy, crunchy breadcrumbs. They add texture and flavor. All right, to these breadcrumbs, just to take them up a whole nother notch, I am going to add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. So if you have never worked with nutritional yeast before, it adds this nice, almost like cheesiness, kind of like Parmesan cheese. It's great for people who follow vegan diets, adds some cheesy flavor. It is also loaded with B vitamins. It's wonderful. All right, mine are just about there. There's lots of extra heat in this pan, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I am then going to stir in my 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. It kind of looks like little flakes. It's very cool and it adds so much flavor. We're just going to give them a stir around to combine them. I'm going to go ahead and get these off the heat. I'm going to pour them into a nice cool bowl. We'll be back in a minute and we're going to add some more ingredients to our dish, so I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so you can see that my leeks have some nice browned edges, so they are perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add my asparagus. And the asparagus only takes like 4 to 5 minutes, honestly. We are going to go ahead and season it now. I am going to add a little bit of salt. About half a teaspoon because my orzo is salted, so I don't want to over salt here. I'm going to add some pepper. Yum. Okay, I'm also going to come back to my pot because my pasta only has about a minute left, and I am going to take out, like I said, about a cup of pasta water. I'm going to set that aside because I'm going to use that later. I might not need the whole cup. Just depend on how much liquid comes out of my asparagus, but I want to have it in case that I need it, so don't forget to do that. Alright, we're going to let this asparagus go for another few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and drain my pasta and we'll be back and put it all together. I'll see you soon. Alright, so I'm going to add some lemon zest and some lemon juice to this. This is really going to brighten up the flavor of it and make it really, really fresh. So we want to zest our lemon before we juice it. It's really hard to zest a already juiced lemon, so make sure you zest first. If you don't have a zester, you can always use a peeler. You can also use your cheese grater and use the really fine mesh part that's usually on the back. That works just fine. The zest is where a lot of your phytochemicals are in your citrus, so we love using the zest in our cooking. It's great to bring out a lot of flavor. You can use it in marinades and dressings and all kinds of things. And then I need about 3 tablespoons or so of lemon juice. Get myself a cup out. It's probably the whole lemon. It depends on how much lemon you like. I go ahead and use the whole thing. Woo, shooting all over. You can usually get up to about a 1/4 cup of lemon juice out of 1 lemon, so I will probably go ahead and use the whole thing. Let's see what my lemon gives me. That's why I put it in a measuring cup for you. That's going to give me, just shy of a 1/4 cup, so that's the perfect amount of lemon. We're also going to finish it with our dill, and you don't have to be too picky about how this is chopped. Just kind of run the knife right through it. Again, going to bring out lots of nice fresh flavor. So we'll be back in just a minute. My asparagus is almost done. I can hear it. And we'll go ahead and finish this up and put it all together. So I'll be right back. Alright, my asparagus is ready. You don't want to overcook it. We want to keep that nice bright greenness to it. To that, I'm going to add my 2 cloves of garlic, like so. Garlic just needs a minute till you can just smell it. I'm just going to combine it in there until you can just smell it. You never want to burn garlic. Alright, while that's going, I'm going to grab my cooked orzo. I can smell it. Alright, we're going to put in our orzo that I have drained. It's amazing how much a cup of orzo, it really grows. go ahead now and take some of my reserved pasta water. I'm going to add a little bit of that in here. That's also going to help us bring up all those nice brown bits from our leeks that are on the bottom. It's going to bring up all that nice flavor. It's sort of deglazing our pan for us. That is flavor. We want it. And you can add as much as you want or as much as you think you need to based on your pan and how much liquid your asparagus has given off. Do just a little bit more. Just like that. Yum. It really can handle the liquid. I know it seems strange to use your pasta liquid to make a sauce, but it really does work. All right. I'm going to let the cameraman stay right there. I'm going to come back over and I'm grabbing my lemon juice. I am also going to grab my cutting board where I have my lemon zest. Just giving that a stir to combine it. I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat off. Oh, it smells so good. I am going to go ahead and throw in my fresh dill or whatever herb you chose. Just like that. Give that a nice stir. It's going to add just some nice greenness and freshness to this. Look at that. Beautiful. And then we get to top it with our beautiful toasty breadcrumbs that we have right here. And we'll just scatter those over the top. It's just going to add another layer of texture and crunch. And just like that, we are done. So thank you for watching and enjoy.